What's going on, No Ceilings fam? This is Tyler Rucker, and we're back. We promised you guys we were going to bring you some updated big boards, updated mock drafts, all of that fun stuff for the draft community. So let's give a little quick rundown because I know we're eager to get into the rankings. This is our big board, our second installment, which was back on January 6th. We're going to have a recent, more updated big board coming up in the next couple of weeks, but we want to make sure that we keep you up to date of the movement that's going on. You're going to see some names on here. Don't worry, don't stress, don't get crazy on us, but a lot of movement has happened in the last couple of weeks in the college basketball world, overseas play. Guys are starting to really find their groove. So this is going to be from January 6th. You're going to see the stats and their last rank from our previous big board updated. Like I said before, we're going to have our updated big board in a couple of weeks. We're trying to have one per month. Be on the look for that. If you haven't already checked out our Substack, it's noceilings.substack.com. Plenty of players on this list are going to be making a move. I promise. We're talking about Keegan Murray. Johnny Davis has been scorching up boards. There's a lot of guys that are really cementing themselves, especially towards the top 10. So just because they were lower on our rankings January 6th, do not be surprised if they skyrocket up our ranks. I know we got plenty of fans at the No Ceilings crew wanting to move people up in a big way. So without further ado, thank you guys for all your support. Hope you guys enjoy our second installment. Our third installment will be basically in a couple weeks. And be on the look next week for our second mock draft, which was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much, and we love you all. If you haven't watched Cal Baptist point guard Taran Armstrong, then you've missed one of the most electrifying playmakers in college basketball. The Australian-born guard has been generating some serious buzz in draft circles with his production, and Armstrong makes his debut on our second installment of our 2022 big board. Armstrong could be a player that returns for another year of development, but he's a name to keep a close eye on moving forward. As of January 6th, Armstrong was averaging 10.8 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game. Duke's sophomore big man Mark Williams finds his way to 29th on our updated big board. The big man continues to impress with his ability on both sides of the floor, and he's going to be an intriguing prospect to keep an eye on moving forward throughout the second half of the collegiate season. Williams will intrigue NBA teams looking for a standout rotation asset with his defensive ability and shot blocking presence. Although his numbers won't wow you, Williams is a big man who continues to make plays down the stretch for Duke this year. Nebraska wing Bryce McGowens continues to buzz in NBA draft circles with his combination of length and scoring ability. Listed at 6'7", McGowens continues to show some fascinating flashes of multi-level scoring ability for the Huskers this year. A much better shooter than his percentages will show, McGowens could be a name that starts to heat up if he can put together a solid stretch of performances. He finds his way to 28th on our big board, but he's a name that could start to creep up for future rankings. One of the hottest names in draft circles has been international guard Hugo Besson. After spending last year playing in France and generating some draft buzz, Hugo announced he would spend the year playing in the NBL with the New Zealand Breakers. It's been a big hit for Hugo as he started to see his draft stock heat up after a number of impressive performances. The combo guard stands out with his microwave scoring ability, and he's going to be a name to watch closely as he's been one of the most impressive international prospects in this class. There's no denying that Duke Jr. wing Wendell Moore Jr. has continued to be sensational this year with his play for the Blue Devils. After coming to Duke as a freshman with some serious hype, Moore has finally started to blossom into the prospect NBA teams were so intrigued by. The 6'5" wing has been a versatile asset for the Blue Devils this year and has the tools to intrigue NBA teams with his ability to impact the game in a number of different ways. If Moore can continue to show consistency from outside, then there's potential for him to hear his name in the first round. One of the most popular names in draft circles over the last couple of months has been LSU sophomore forward Tari Eason. Eason makes his appearance at 26th on our latest big board, but he's a name that is trending upwards quickly. At 6'8", 216 pounds, the versatile forward has been putting up some impressive numbers on both sides of the ball and will be a name that can continue to rise. He's going to be one that you want to monitor closely, folks. It won't be a surprise if he ends up much higher on our next big board. Making his debut on our latest big board is Davison wing Hyungjung Lee. If you're looking for a lethal sniper from outside, then Lee is going to get your attention in a hurry. The 6'7", 210-pound junior has been opening some eyes with his dangerous shooting ability from outside and could become an intriguing sleeper in this class. He's going to entice teams with his ability as a dangerous catch-and-shoot asset, especially with his quick release and ability to get hot in a hurry. Although G League Ignite's MarJon Beauchamp is listed at 23rd overall in our latest big board, the versatile wing has quickly become one of the hottest names in draft circles. Beauchamp has NBA personnel buzzing as he stands out with his energetic play and ability to make game-changing plays on both sides of the floor. Beauchamp continues to put up impressive production lately, and he's a player that can cause chaos on both sides of the floor. After a strong start to the college basketball season, Duke freshman guard Trevor Keels finds himself at 22nd on our latest big board. Keels is going to be a fascinating prospect moving forward as he projects to entice NBA teams with his ability to make an impact in a variety of ways. At 6'4", 221 pounds, Keels stands out with his physical playing style and passion on the court. His outside shot is going to be his swing skill, and if he can show teams that he can be more consistent from deep, he could be a name that goes much earlier on draft night. There's always an upperclassman that continues to generate buzz throughout the NBA scouting world, and Kansas wing Ochai Agbaji has been that player this season. Agbaji decided to return for another year of development, and the senior has been one of the best players in college basketball this year. The 6'5" wing continues to be a dangerous threat from the perimeter and offers intriguing 3-and-D potential at the next level. Don't be surprised if Agbaji continues to climb up big boards, especially here at No Ceilings. He's on the rise quickly. The buzz surrounding G League Ignite guard Dyson Daniels continues to get louder with each passing week in draft circles. Although the Australian-born guard makes his appearance at 20th overall on our second big board installment, he's another one that's climbing rapidly. Daniels has a fascinating set of skills with good size at 6'6" and stands out with his versatility on the court. He continues to show signs of development throughout the year, and the 18-year-old guard is getting the attention of NBA teams and scouts league-wide. Although Serbian wing Nikola Jovic finds himself at 19th on our most recent big board rankings, he's showing signs of consistency lately and could be a name that heats up in the near future. There's plenty to like about Jovic, and he has some special tools for a 6'11" wing with versatility. Jovic has shown a solid stroke from outside and will intrigue NBA teams with his raw upside. Still just 18 years old, Jovic has been playing for international powerhouse Mega Baymax and will fascinate NBA personnel with his potential. UCLA forward Jaime Jaquez makes his appearance at 18th on our latest big board installment. Although the buzz has cooled off a bit on Jaquez lately, he's still been a consistent force for a strong UCLA team this year. Jaquez could start to see his stock drop a little bit, as there's a number of names behind him on our recent big board who have started to heat up in a big way, but he's a name to monitor moving forward. The versatile forward will be an intriguing sleeper in this 2022 class, as he has the ability to be a rotation asset early on. After making his debut at 14th overall on our first 2022 big board, Tennessee freshman Kennedy Chandler falls down to 17th on our updated installment. There's still plenty of questions about Chandler, as he's an undersized guard at 6 foot, and NBA teams will wonder if he can translate to the next level. Although Chandler has seen his stock cool off recently, there's still some fascinating tools in his arsenal. Chandler has shown the ability to play with a great change of pace, and he's been a pest on the defensive side of the ball. He's a player who could slide down boards a little bit, but that could make him an intriguing valued selection later in the draft. Alabama freshman guard J.D. Davison continues to be one of the more fascinating point guard prospects in the 2022 NBA draft class. There's still plenty on our No Ceilings crew that believes in Davison, and it will be fascinating to see where he ends up on our next big board installment. An energetic point guard with freakish athleticism, Davison has shown some flashes throughout the year and will be one to watch closely throughout the rest of the college basketball season. He could start to fall a bit, but for now, Davison finds himself at 16th on our recent installment. One of the hottest names in draft circles as of late has been Iowa forward Keegan Murray. Although Murray finds himself at 15th in our latest big board installment, do not be surprised if he finds himself storming up the board on our next big board. Trust me, he's getting plenty of fans around here. Murray is quickly becoming a serious contender to be selected in the top 10 of the 2022 NBA draft and has continued to impress with his play for Iowa this year. His stock is starting to get on fire. After making his debut at 9th overall in our first big board installment, Michigan freshman Caleb Houstan falls to 14th on our most recent update. Houstan has struggled with some inconsistent play as of late, and he's a prospect that is slipping down some boards. There's still plenty of the No Ceilings crew that are holding on to Houstan stock, but he's a player that is quickly trending in the wrong direction. It's going to be fascinating to see if Houstan can start to put together a solid stretch of games, as he's a player that NBA personnel will have a close eye on throughout the rest of the college basketball season. The man of mystery in the 2022 NBA draft class continues to be overtime elite guard John Montero. After generating some buzz in the international ranks last year, Montero announced he would head overseas to join the overtime elite in preparation for the NBA draft. Montero has put up impressive numbers throughout the year, and scouts will be eager to get an in-person look at him, especially when it comes to the pre-draft process. The 6'4" guard is shifty with the ball in his hands and offers intriguing playmaking ability. Kentucky freshman guard TYTY Washington is starting to separate himself as one of the top point guards in this class and finds himself at number 12 on our latest big board. Washington has started to generate some momentum and is climbing up the ranks. The shifty guard stands out with his feel for the game and touch from outside. Washington has continued to impress with his consistent production for the Wildcats this year, and he's a name that is trending upwards in the draft world. After making his debut at 6th overall on our first big board, G League Ignite guard Jaden Hardy finds himself at 11th overall in our latest installment. Hardy got off to a rough start in the beginning of this year, but has shown some promising signs of late with a number of big performances. He's going to be a prospect that NBA scouts and personnel will be watching closely throughout the remainder of the year. A lethal shooter with limitless range, Hardy has shown signs of development lately and could be a player that could rebound and move up boards again with time. After coming into the season as a potential top 10 selection in the 2022 NBA draft, Duke freshman wing AJ Griffin has started to make some noise as of late with his impressive play for the Blue Devils. At 6'6" with an NBA-ready frame, Griffin stands out with his physical playing style and shiftiness on the court. He's a name that is starting to soar up draft boards, and he could be a player that ends up trending near the early portion of the top 10 if he can keep up this recent type of play moving forward. Memphis big man Jalen Duren finds himself at number 9 on our latest big board installment. Although Memphis has struggled this year, Duren continues to show signs of development in important areas. One of the youngest players in the 2022 NBA draft class, Duren continues to offer a fascinating amount of raw upside that will have NBA front offices drooling. At 6'11", 250 pounds, Duren has the tools and explosiveness to become a dangerous two-way threat at the next level. Baylor freshman forward Kendall Brown finds himself staying put at 8th overall in our most recent big board installment. Baylor has continued to be one of the most impressive teams in the country this year, and Brown has been an efficient presence with his play on the floor. The 6'8" freshman stands out with his quickness and lethal explosiveness in the open court and is a dangerous player off the ball. If Brown can continue to show more consistency from outside with his shooting over a larger sample size, he's going to have plenty of fans in front offices. One of the most puzzling prospects in this year's class has been Milwaukee forward Patrick Baldwin Jr. After coming into the year as a potential top 5 selection in this class, Baldwin has continued to struggle while playing at a lower level of competition. The tools are legit, and Baldwin is a lethal shooter at 6'10". Scouts will be watching closely to see how he progresses throughout the remainder of the college basketball season, as he could be a name that heats up quickly throughout the pre-draft process. One of the most pleasant surprises in college basketball this year has been the superior play of Arizona Wildcats sophomore Benedict Mathurin. The 6'6" wing has stood out with his versatility on both sides of the floor and has been the engine behind the Wildcats' impressive start to the season. Mathurin continued to show serious strides of development in a number of aspects when it comes to his game, and he's a player that is trending upwards near the top 10 of the draft. The talk of the scouting world has been Wisconsin sophomore guard Johnny Davis. Davis has skyrocketed up to 5th on our latest installment. The hype is real, folks, as Davis continues to look like a potential offensive force with his play this year for the Badgers. The 6'5" guard has been a dominant weapon over the course of the year and is trending towards becoming a top 5 selection in this draft class. Get on the hype train, folks. It's filling up. One of the most exciting players in college basketball this year has been Purdue guard Jaden Ivey. After returning to Purdue for his sophomore year, NBA personnel were intrigued to see if Ivey could take the next steps forward in his development. He's done that and more, and has become one of the top guards in this class. It's going to be fascinating to see if Ivey can turn it up another level, as he's making a case to climb even higher than 4th. No player has been as impressive in college basketball this year than Auburn forward Jabari Smith Jr. Although Smith finds himself at 3rd on our latest big board installment, don't be surprised if that rank changes in the near future. The 6'10" freshman has been sensational with his play on both sides of the floor and is making a serious case to be considered for the first overall selection in the draft. The noise for Jabari Smith continues to get louder, and it will be fascinating to see if he can keep this up moving forward.
And here we go.
After making his debut at number 1 on our first big board, Duke freshman Paolo Banchero falls to second spot on our updated rankings. The battle for the top spot is going to continue to be a vicious one throughout the course of the year, and our no ceilings team has Banchero at number 2 for now. Banchero continues to impress for the Blue Devils with his offensive firepower and ability to score from multiple levels. He's started to show some serious signs of playmaking ability as of late, and he's going to continue to be a name that could become the top pick in the 2022 NBA Draft. A new contender has taken the top overall spot in our 2022 Big Board rankings, and that player is Gonzaga freshman Chet Holmgren. After struggling with his outside shooting to start the year, Holmgren has started to come alive and continues to show signs of improvement throughout the season. The battle for the top spot is going to continue to be a war moving forward, but Holmgren earns the edge in our latest rankings. The 7-foot freshman has been a defensive force with his play this year and projects to be a gifted defensive asset early on in his NBA career. If Holmgren can continue to show that the two-way potential is coming together, he's going to be a favorite to hear his name called first on draft night.